These are the 10 times NBA fans went too far you couldn't imagine. From full-blown racial remarks to Courtside Karen to throwing a cup full of ice, these fans have shown us that sometimes the love for the game can be as infectious as a last-second buzzer beater. But what follows these incidents is even more interesting. Watch the full video to see what happens next. Number 10. The ultimate splash on Kyrie. A game where the court is on fire, tensions are high, and then out of nowhere, whoosh! A water bottle comes flying, making a dramatic entrance that even Hollywood would envy. Kyrie Irving, cool as a cucumber, had just walked off the court after a hard-fought victory against his former team, the Boston Celtics. And the real drama? In the midst of the post-game celebration, a fan decided to make a splash, tossing a water bottle like it was a game-winning shot. Cue Kyrie's epic stare-down and the arena heating up faster than Robert scoring a foul. It was a classic case of hold my water meets hold my beer. And the arena went from electric to explosive in seconds. As security swarmed the culprit, the incident left everyone stunned. Players, fans, and even the internet. It's NBA intensity at its finest, with a splash of wild fan fervor. Number 9. The Blondie Rage. Let's rewind to a dramatic moment in the 2013 NBA playoffs, Game 2 of the Heat-Bulls series. Now, don't get me wrong, the Miami Heat were celebrating like they'd just discovered an all-you-can-eat buffet after their Game 1 win. But in Game 2, it was the Chicago Bulls' turn to feel the heat, quite literally. Enter Chicago's fiery Joakim Noah, who got a one-way ticket to the locker room after being ejected during a blowout loss. A blondie in the stands with more rage than your microwave at 3 a.m., Philomena Tobias decided to give him a farewell salute that could probably be seen from space. She flicked the old middle finger, and I'm not talking about a casual howdy-do. It was more like a checkmate move from an intense game of emotional chess. Number 8. CoOwner Drama. Game 3 of the NBA Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Toronto Raptors saw emotions soaring as players battle it out on the hardwood. But one fan by the name of Mark Stevens couldn't resist being part of the action. Stevens, who's also part owner of the Warriors, had the audacity that could make even a circus clown blush. This fan and part owner actually shoved Kyle Lowry during the game. Talk about a bold slam dunk into the realm of poor decisions. And the kicker? Our audacious owner found himself not only escorted out of the arena, but also slapped with a juicy $500,000 fine. And the icing on the cake, he also served a one-year ban from the NBA. I guess he'll have to find a new way to channel his inner basketball beast mode. Might I suggest a game of NBA 2K from the comfort of his own living room? Number 7. Fan ejected for pushing Chris Paul's mom. Now let's talk about this Mavs fan who decided to take support to a whole new level when he decided to reach out and push Chris Paul's mom. Yep, you heard it right. The audacity, right? Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't dare touch the coffee mug of an NBA player, let alone his mom. But this fan, clearly not following fan etiquette 101, thought it was okay to cross that line. But hold the phone, folks. Chris Paul, the cool and collected point guard, never loses his cool, right? Well, let's just say he couldn't contain his anger. The typically cool point guard found himself engulfed in a wave of emotions. Paul later vented his frustration on Twitter, stating, "Wanna fine players for saying stuff to the fans, but the fans can put their hands on our families? F that." Number 6. Denver fans' courtside showdown. In the midst of the excitement, a fan decided to make an unforgettable move. And by unforgettable, we mean surprisingly audacious. A Nuggets fan thought it was perfectly logical to stride onto the court and have a one-on-one with Russell Westbrook. In a move that had jaws dropping faster than a slam dunk, he shouted his sentiments right into Westbrook's face, turning the court into a stage for the unexpected. Westbrook's reaction? Just a swift shove, less like a game-winning pass and more like a "you've crossed the line" power move. The incident sent shockwaves across the arena and ignited a Twitter storm faster than a fast break. From debates on fan etiquette to gifs that looped as endlessly as a highlight reel, The incident was as unforgettable as a game-winning shot at the buzzer. Number 5. Fan spits on Trey Young. Now, this next incident is certainly a jaw-dropping moment that rocked the basketball world. The day a fan crossed the line and did the unthinkable. In a game at the Madison Square Garden where the Knicks faced off against the Atlanta Hawks, a fan in the stands decided it was perfectly fine to spit on Trey Young, one of the league's most promising rising stars. Now folks, we're all for passionate fandom, but spitting? That's just crossing the line and then some. The NBA has some of the most dedicated fans in the world, but even they have to abide by the rules of common decency. But here's the kicker. Trey Young handled it like a true pro. Instead of letting it get to him, he let his game do the talking, and oh boy did he deliver. So what's the moral of the story, you ask? Well, it's simple. Let's keep the drama on the court and the sportsmanship in the stands. Before we move on to our next incredible fan moment, make sure to smash that thumbs up button and hit subscribe to Hooper Savvy to see your favorite NBA highlights. Number 4. Laser distraction to legal action. Back in 2016, Houston Rockets superstar James Harden stepped up to the free throw line, but what unfolded next could be considered one of the most controversial incidents in NBA history. A laser pointer from the stands disrupts the arena aimed at none other than James Harden's face. The fan responsible was swiftly ejected, costing him a ban for an entire year, but that's just the beginning of our story. The incident triggered a league-wide crackdown on fan behavior, setting a precedent for consequences that would make anyone think twice. The NBA launched an investigation into the incident. They reviewed surveillance footage, gathered witness accounts, and worked closely with law enforcement. The severity of the incident was evident as it had disrupted not only the game, but also the reputation of the league. Number 3. LeBron James and the Courtside Karen. This intense moment was back in 2021 in a high-stakes game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Atlanta Hawks. LeBron James, a man known for his prowess on the court, found himself in a verbal duel with a fierce courtside warrior we now affectionately call Courtside Karen. She unleashed a barrage of words, and LeBron, being the gentleman he is, decided to join the wordy ballgame.
And then when someone else jumped into it and said their piece. But I didn't think they were, should have been kicked out.
It was like Shakespeare meets reality TV, with the entire world watching the drama unfold. Who needs a slam dunk when you've got a slam of sassy comebacks, right? Number 2. Utah Jazz Heckler. The beauty of passionate heckling we got to see on the NBA courts back in 2020. But buckle up for this Utah Jazz heckler incident, where words clashed like titans as this one Jazz fan took aim at Russell Westbrook. This fan decided to take things to another level when he decided to fire racial remarks towards Westbrook. The fan's remarks prompted a swift response from the NBA, banning him for life.
Young man and his wife in the stands told me to get down on my knees like he used to. And for me, that's just completely disrespectful.
Number 1. Malice at the Palace. Let's end with the granddaddy fan moment of them all, the Malice at the Palace, or also called the worst night in the history of the NBA. Imagine an arena packed with fans, players duking it out on the court. But hold the phone. Suddenly, like a scene out of a superhero blockbuster, chaos erupts. Drinks are flying, tempers are soaring, and before you know it, players are leaping into the stands like they're auditioning for fans versus players, the ultimate showdown. Chaos ensued, punches were thrown, and the arena turned into a real-life video game where players and fans were all just avatars caught in the middle of an epic showdown. Security guards went from keeping an eye on the popcorn supply to wrangling players and fans like they were herding wild animals. It was like WWE decided to take over the NBA for one crazy night. There we have it. From walking down the Hall of Shame to being permanently banned from their favorite game, here's how some wild NBA fans remind us that while the players make the headlines, the fans write the footnotes. Talking of permanent bans, did you know these strangest things are banned in the NBA? Watch the full video here.